5 for session 6. And question 1 is a true false. And what is the correct answer? True. It's true. So here's what I want to cover about that. So if everyone can please turn to page 20 in their catalog and look for impacted programs. First paragraph under impacted programs, the last sentence says, students who are admitted to SDSU are placed in a pre-major, including undeclared. So to clarify, every student that's admitted to SDSU is admitted into the pre-major. For transfer students that attend orientation, if eligible, they will be moved from pre-major to upper division major that day. But when initially admitted, every student is admitted to the pre-major. Are there any questions on that? Okay. Question 2, is it true or false? True. Everyone got that right, so I'm not going to go into that. Question 3, true or false? False. So what I want to cover there depends on the major. So, for example, if we look at the history major on page 281. So remember that every major has a page that looks like this. Right above preparation for major under history will be a sentence stating if a minor is required. Does history require a minor? Anybody? I saw somebody shake their head. Does history require a minor? No, it does not. Okay, so now let's look at Latin American Studies major on page 320. Does this major require a minor? I'm looking to make sure you know where to look. Yes? No. That's correct, thank you. And then last one, linguistics on page 332. Does this major require a minor? And for those of you that weren't checking, I just need to make sure that you know where to find that information. All right, question 4.
Any question?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Just to be clear, people who double major, like they say they're a history and Spanish major, would they require a minor in addition to that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the minor is required for the major, even if it's your second major, you have to abide by all the rules. That's a great question. Okay, we're on question 4. And what is the correct answer? A, B, C, D, or E? Did I hear D?
D.
Yes. A, B, C are correct. So they're all examples of when you can double count lower division courses. Any questions about that one? Yes.
About the 2 majors and a minor thing, if someone's double majoring, both majors require a minor, can that one minor satisfy both, or you need 2 minors?
That's a great question, and it depends on the majors.
Okay.
So yeah, they would work with their major advisors to figure out if they can sort of double dip in that way.
Okay.
They just can never share classes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Question 5. What letter is the correct answer? D. So the answer was A and B. What I want to cover on this one is read how I word the question carefully. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Read how I word the question carefully. It will come up on the final, okay? If it says select all that apply, then do that. If it doesn't, then everyone needs to read the answer selection carefully and choose the answer. So if an option is A and B, like in this case, and you believe that's the correct answer, then go ahead and select that answer. Question 6. What letter? D. So A and C. Okay, on this one I want to cover. So last week there were some questions about recreation administration major. So let's turn to page 408. So again, every major has a page like this, right? Sometimes we call it the major page. So up on top, what does it say? Right, recreation and tourism management. That is the department, not the major. So then, when you look at the right-hand side, you see the recreation administration major with the various emphasis underneath it. Okay? So, recreation and tourism management is the department, recreation administration is the major. Okay? So another example, let's look at the kinesiology major. We're looking at the emphasis of pre-physical therapy on page 248. What department is kinesiology in? That's exactly right. The department is exercise, can somebody say it again for me? Perfect, exercise and nutritional science. So that is on page 245, so that's the department. So again, every major has a major page. And so usually the department name and the major name usually will be the same, but not always. So the department will be on the first page on the top, and then the major will be where you go on to find the actual name of the major. Does that make sense? Perfect. Okay. So let's move on to question 7. What is the correct answer there? A. So the key word on that one was not true. So every major requires preparation for the major courses. Some may only require a very small number of prep courses, while others may require many prep courses. Question 8. So the question was, how many upper division units are required in the upper division Spanish major? 30. And does the Spanish major require a minor? Yes. So on this one, remember that there is a difference between upper division units required for type of degree versus upper division units required for the major. So does everyone know where to find upper division units required for the major? Okay. So does someone that does, are they willing to share? Can I have a volunteer? Upper division units required for the major.
In the specific major?
Yeah, so you go to the specific major, and then it'll say, you know, when you have, you'll have your prep, and then you'll have some other things, and then it'll actually say the major. And that very first number in that sentence is the upper division required for the major. Does that make sense to everybody? Great. Okay, and I'm not gonna go over minor again, we just covered that. Okay, question 9. Everybody answered that right. So everyone showed me that they know exactly where to go to look at what prep for the major is. And remember that it's prep for the major that we're looking for. So if I say something like that, I'm not asking, or if I talk about impaction criteria, I'm not looking for the upper division major because they wouldn't be in the upper division major if they don't pass the impaction criteria. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, and question 10. Brandon is criminal justice major. So first I asked how many units are required in the upper division criminal justice major? 36. And next I asked, can he double count an elective course for his major with an explorations course? The answer is no. Why?
We need 39 minutes for bachelor's students.
For that exception, yeah. So remember, we're answering a few things. So first we have to find what type of degree, then how many upper division units required for the major, and then any electives outside the major department. And if the student is not required to complete the minimum, then you can stop there, because the answer is they don't apply, they don't qualify for that exception. Any questions on that? Great. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so with your PowerPoint, you received the PowerPoint packet. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. It might make it easier on you guys just to hand it to the person on the edge.
The first person? Yeah.
Pass all the way in.
Let me.
Here, I can-
I'm gonna knock this over is what's gonna happen.
All right, while those are being passed out, I'll explain that there's a PowerPoint packet, and there's 3 degree evaluations. So they're in order. So the first one is our example 1 that we'll be using. The next one, example 2, and the third is for the activity that we'll do at the end of class.
Why do I have so many extra? I have extra too. Is the back? Do they have some? Oh, wait, we used to
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started.